everyone. What a beautiful afternoon and joining us here at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory. My name's Michelle Furr. I'm the director and campus manager here at Como, and I am thrilled to have you here today and to kind of celebrate where we're at with our Seals and Sea Lion, which is now called Como Harbor. As you can see, demolition has already started, and we're going to be beginning construction in just the next few weeks. To kick off our celebration this afternoon, it's my honor to welcome Mayor Carter.
For everybody for being here, it is such a pleasure and such an honor to be here at Como Zoo. I was just sharing that I sort of grew up in and around Como Zoo, but the truth is the zoo that I grew up in was in this place, but it's a whole lot different than it was then. This zoo has grown. We've invested in this zoo. This zoo just keeps on getting better and better, and it is one of the things that we are most proud of right here in St. Paul. You know, I tell people almost every day that in going to college in Florida, one of the most valuable lessons that I learned moving 1,000 miles away is how much I love my home. And one of the things that I remember wondering when I got to school down in Tallahassee, Florida is, well, where's the free city-owned zoo? Because it was a surprise to me that this space, that this place is as unique as it is, that other children and other families and other cities and other states across this country can't just expect to go a couple of miles away and see the giraffes, see an incredible polar bear exhibit, or as one of my favorite things to do was growing up, see an incredible Sparky the Seal exhibit. Yeah, can we have one for Sparky the Seal? And it seems at least once per summer we found ourselves in a big ongoing debate about the difference between seals and sea lions, a debate which I'm still ill-equipped to win. But we would come here and see the Sparky show. I was joking that we used to come here long enough where we'd put a quarter in the little kind of machine and it would spit out a little cup full of like fish bits and we'd feed them to the seals. I'm very glad that we don't do that anymore. My children would love to do that, I'm sure, but I'm glad that we've ceased that process. We came here with groups of young storytellers who would watch the zebras and who would watch the wolves and figure out how they move and try to figure out how to emulate their movements. This zoo is such a part of so many young people and so many families' stories. And it's exciting to be able to be a part of continuing to see those stories evolve. Having the experience for our young people to see animals in their habitat, in incredible exhibits, in spaces where the animals can live and can play and can kind of freely explore is something that I'm very, very proud of. But it's something that the city couldn't do on our own. See, we've built what I think of as a really big vision for St. Paul, and everywhere I go I like to remind folks that all of the stuff that we have in front of us as a city, even our incredible Parks and Rec staff, even our incredible Parks and Rec director, even our amazing staff who are here working day in and day out to make this zoo run, we need help. And that's where the Como Friends come in. You know, the relationship, that partnership between the Como Friends and Como Park Zoo and Conservatory is an example of what can happen when you pair public and private support in private investment with the Minnesota State Legislature. And I know our State Representative John Lesh is here. Our State Representative Alice Hausman is here. Thank you for your leadership. I know our council member Samantha Henningsen is here. Thank you so much for your leadership for our community. And with all of us working together, that's how we get something like this in space, where our families, where our children, where our child care providers can continue to come to Como Zoo and enjoy all that we have to offer here for free. That's a really exciting thing for us. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you who've played a role, an important and invaluable role in just helping us get to this day. And I'm excited to just continue that St. Paul tradition of being able to argue with my children and my grandchildren over what the difference is between a seal and a sea lion. Thank you so much.
As Mayor Carter said, this could not be possible with a number of people, including the administration and the city of St. Paul, but also our friends at the Capitol. And as mentioned, we have Representative Lesh and Representative Hausman here who are tireless supporters of Como. And this wouldn't be possible without a $15 million appropriation from the state. And I'm going to introduce Representative Hausman to say a few words about that. Thank you.
Well, Representative John Lesh and I are delighted to join you for this great occasion. When you're at the zoo and conservatory, you are in Representative Lesh's district, so remember him. The history here goes back a long time. 1930, a WPA-era project, and it was called Monkey Island. You see a picture of it right here. That's the before. And then in 1980, they were looking for a different home for the seals and sea lions, and so Monkey Island became the home of seals and sea lions. It's still a WPA-era project, however. And accrediting agencies care about that at the federal level. They pay attention to our facilities. And so the vision of Como Harbor began to emerge. The thought of a year-round stable home for those seals and sea lions was a pretty exciting prospect. Well, exhibits change, so do zoos. Zoos used to be thought of as entertainment. Families and those children would come, and then it made the transition to education. And where we see that so significantly here is in that new polar bear exhibit, where they learn about the world, they learn about climate, they learn about what is happening to polar bears somewhere. So it becomes a place for education. 425,000 school kids will come in this year, and because the seals and sea lions get a stable home, those school kids get a new classroom. So that motivation began the heavy lifting to secure $15 million from in the state bonding bill last year. We truly believe this is a statewide asset and not a local project. And the way we always discover that is when we sit in front of a committee with that Como bill, inevitably people around the table have their own Como story. They've all been here, they've been here with kids and grandkids. Everyone knows Como, everyone loves Como. And so seeing this as a statewide asset is not a heavy lift. It is, I think, something that everyone else celebrates as well. So we're thankful and pleased to be able to be a legitimate state partner in this great institution, to celebrate today and to look forward to that time in the very near future when we'll cut the ribbon. Happy to be with you today.
Thank you, Allison, for everything that you do for Como. Como Park Zoo and Conservatory has another wonderful partner in our nonprofit, Como Friends, led by Jackie Stika and board chair Susan Rader. Today we have board member Eric Ordway, who's going to tell us a few words about their campaign.
Well, obviously we're here today to celebrate Sparky. Sparky is a tradition at Como, having entertained and educated generations of families and Como visitors who come here to see and learn all about this amazing animal. But now Sparky needs a new home, which is why we at Como Friends are proud to partner with the city of St. Paul and the state of Minnesota, thank you, to design, fund, and build this beautiful Como Harbor habitat that's coming together behind us. And this partnership has a great track record. In just the last 10 years, we've been able to invest $100 million into the Como Park Zoo and Conservatory facility. That's an amazing figure. It's allowed us to build new things like the Polar Bear Odyssey, the Ordway Gardens, the Minnesota Garden, and Gorilla Forest. And what makes that $100 million number extra special is that not a dime of it is admission. Como remains completely free to visitors 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There aren't a lot of places that can make that claim. But it also means we need the help of our private and institutional partners as well. And we have a great one in the Otto Bremer Trust. Today it is my privilege to announce that the Otto Bremer Trust has committed $1 million to the seals and sea lions habitat coming together behind us. How about that? That marks the largest gift that the Otto Bremer Trust has ever given to Como Friends, and clearly demonstrates their steadfast commitment to keeping this place free for generations to come. So to the Otto Bremer Trust, on behalf of the Como Friends Board and Como Friends staff, most of who are here today I see in the audience, thank you for this extremely generous gift. Thank you to the City of St. Paul, as always, and to the state legislature for coming through with this bonding bill. What a great outcome, and I'm excited to kick it off here later today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I also wanted to point out we also have with us the Director of St. Paul Parks and Recreation, Mike Hom, and Glenn Barron, who is the President of Lancer Hospitality. We also have a number, as Eric mentioned, of Como Friends board members, committee members, Lancer leadership, CPMI, and Como staff. Como Harbor will feature a number of new features from year-round use, saltwater, meeting our federal requirements for housing such animals of pinnipeds, which are both seals and sea lions, Mayor, and a number of different viewing vantage points, including underwater viewing. Animal welfare has always been a key in our design to offering these animals with more shade, areas for holding, training, and enrichment. But we also had the guest experience in mind with new amenities, including a new food concession building, which was being paid for by our partner, Como, new Como partner with Lancer Hospitality. Will offer new restrooms and more seating and shade for those shows. For anyone who has come to a Sparky show and waited for 20 minutes before the show in their concrete seats, this is a very sunny spot, so now we'll offer shade for that. As I mentioned earlier, construction is going to be beginning in the next couple weeks, and we anticipate opening in late 2019. So let's get the festivities underway. I'm going to ask my group here to move over to the shovels, and we are going to put the first shovels in the ground and dig.